So, ladies and gentlemen, our final session of the day titled Chennai and the Movies, Why the City Loves Cinema. We're so excited to have with us here today filmmaker Mr. Gautham Vasudev Menon. Can we give him a big round of applause as we wind up today on a high? And thank you so much to our audience for being so interactive, and we've loved the excitement that's been going through the day. So we hope to keep that going for our final session. I'd also like to welcome our moderator for this session to take the stage, Mr. Srinivasa Ramanujam, Deputy Editor, The Hindu Metro Plus. Can we have you on stage, please, sir? And joining us, of course, Mr. Gautham Vasudev Menon, filmmaker.
Good evening, all. இங்க என்ன சொல்லுது சென்னை சென்னைன்னு சொல்லுதா? Sorry for that very terrible imitation, but I felt quite right to kickstart a conversation about Chennai and the movies with a line inspired from cinema itself. I'm Srinivasa Ramanujam, and today I'm thrilled to have with me filmmaker Gautham Menon, somebody who all of us in this room know, and somebody who's given us pretty memorable characters such as Maya, Jesse, Raghavan, Anbuchelvan, the list goes on, right? He recently completed 25 years in the industry, so that's a great achievement. Welcome, Gautham. How have you been?
25 years makes me feel a bit ancient when you mention it like that. But yeah, I'm good. I've been good. Thank you.
We are right now sitting not far from Lloyd's Road, and I was just driving past Lloyd's Road when I came to this venue. And I remember you shot the iconic gate scene there, right, of Vettaya Vilayadu, where Kamal sir just comes into the picture and then says a dialogue and all that. When you pass that place today, what do you think about as a filmmaker? Do you remember that shot, or has Chennai changed a lot since then?
No, even if Chennai has robots and everything walking around, I can't forget that shot. The location was free because it's my office on Lloyd's Road. It doesn't exist anymore because the gate, the building, everything has been taken over by an apartment complex. But that was first day of shoot, and I wanted to make it convenient for myself with the budgets and for Kamal sir to come from Eldams Road to Lloyd's Road. So we fixed a location really close by, and the idea also was for him to kick the gate open and walk into my life. So that was the first shot that we filmed. So even if things changed drastically there, I can't forget that first shot. And also, I like to shoot in really live locations in the city, like even N.A.R. Indal, for example. Ajit has never shot in Chennai so much. Like the first thing he'll probably tell you is, take me outside because of the crowds and everything. But if you remember, there's a whole Jeep sequence where he drives and actually from one location to Tambram when he's trying to find out something. So it was shot on location with him driving the Jeep through the city. And we had cameras placed across to shoot that. So I like to be in the city, be in the space and shoot. So, yeah.
You have some great Chennai locations. You just mentioned N.A.R. Indal. I remember Surya's Varnamayram, of course. Some shots of it were shot here. Of course, the VTV house is a landmark today, right? A lot of people go and look at the house. How emotionally connected are you with your locations in Chennai?
Completely emotional about the locations. Half of Varnamayram was shot in my house because the moments and the ideas all stemmed from there. So it was pretty easy to recreate those scenes in actual locations. Vinnetandi, I was just driving by looking for a house like that, and I happened to see this place. And I went up and spoke to the owners and said, I'll make it very easy. I won't disturb you guys so much. We'll accommodate you somewhere else, but I want to take over the space for about 30 days. And they didn't move. They were there and they helped us film and all that stuff. Today, a lot of people drive by just to see that place, and they go spend time with the people there and all that. So I'm pretty emotional about my locations and where I shoot, for sure. Yeah.
Gautham, today you're a big filmmaker, of course, and you've completed 25 years in the industry. But can you take me back to the younger boy growing up in Chennai? What was your Chennai like? Sights, sounds, of course, the cinemas that you went to. Can you tell us about that?
I was born here, and then I think for the first 7 years, for the first 7 years, we were in Calicut. Dad was placed there in a job and everything. And then we moved back to Chennai. So I was around 7 years old when we came back to Chennai. But for me, Chennai was also a lot about what I've heard from my dad and mom speaking about their college days. They studied in MCC, Tambaram, and that's how they met. I wouldn't have been here if they hadn't met at that point. And mom stayed in a hostel in Gindi. And a lot of my knowledge of Chennai came from them talking about Chennai, where they used to go, where they used to watch movies, the beaches, and how they used to spend time with each other. Dad had a Triumph, so he'd probably, tell me about how he rode all around the city, with my mom. So a lot of Chennai was from what my dad and mom told me, So that's why I want to recreate a lot of that in Mundinam song and Varanamayiram and all that. And then I did my schooling here, and then I went and studied in Trichy for 4 years, and I hated it. Of course, Trichy is nice, and temple city and a lot of other things and all that stuff, but kept itching to come back to Chennai in that sense. And somehow was very sure I didn't want to go abroad and study only because I wanted to be at home with my parents and be in Chennai. So that largely influenced my career decision itself, as to not to move out from here. So we lived in Ananagar for almost 25 years, and then we moved to a house in Taramani for the next 25 years of my life. And I'm completely rooted here. I'm a hummingbird. I keep coming back. It's only because of my love for the city, and I'd fight people down if they argue about any other city as opposed to Chennai. Yeah.
You're in the film business, Gautham, and Chennai itself, or Collywood, if I can call it that, or Tamil cinema, has become, from regionally being strong, has had a national presence today. What do you think is the X factor that Tamil cinema has that has made it appeal to so many people across the globe today?
I think we are a couple of notches lesser than Malayalam cinema for sure. I mean, I might be taken apart for saying this, but I don't think we are. I think what we have over the others is we put out these big superstars who end up becoming politicians and chief minister hopefuls. So that's the X factor that we have, I think. I mean, you can just look at the lineup that we've had, right, in that sense. So apart from that, I honestly feel we are a couple of notches lesser than what Malayalam cinema has done to Indian cinema as such, and how the nation is sort of, woken up to what's happening down there. But then I write in Tamil. I want to make Tamil films. I make songs in Tamil. So we are hoping it'll get there, if you ask me honestly. Right. Yeah.
There was a time when much of South Indian cinema, the action happened here, right here in Madras, not very far from here, in Kodambakkam, to be very specific.
Malayalam films were shot here. Industry worked from here. Yeah.
And today, of course, each industry has their own, spaces in their own cities and all that. Do you see this as some kind of a fragmentation, or do you see this as a creative independence?
Fragmentation for sure, but you need that creative independence also, right? I can't imagine the whole Telugu industry working out of here now, because it's a huge industry by itself, right? And actors who've got a mind of their own, and there's so many stars you can work with, as even compared to the stars that we have, or the heroes that we have here in Chennai. Actually, you write a love story, or if you write a story, we don't know who to take it to, because apart from the top 2-3, there's you can't get enough money to actually to make a film happen here. But in Telugu, there's so much more as a choice to take from. So I can't imagine a scenario where those films are made out of here or work from here. So it is fragmentation for sure. I don't like the idea of regions and barriers and all that stuff, lines drawn and all that. But it definitely is creative independence. So I think we'll just give them that, I think. Yeah.
Gautham, you touched upon music, and I wanted to ask you about that. A lot of people in the hall here and people who are watching on the live stream are, I'm sure, huge fans of the songs in your particular films. In fact, you recently celebrated your 25 years in a very musical way, right? Ennoduva Veedu Varaikum. And your films, of course, feature great songs from a variety of composers, from Raja sir to Rahman sir to Darbuka Shiva, to so many people. What does music and performing it live here in Chennai mean to you as a filmmaker?
See, I know it's 25 years and all that. I didn't want to do with all due respect to what is normally done, there's one ஒரு விழா எடுப்பாங்க. There's one felicitation and actors will be called and all that. But this is what I did what's called a curated sort of a concert, and I made it largely and only music, because I got into films only because of my love for music, and each of these songs made me want to know which film these songs are from. So it's the songs that my dad and mom used to listen to when probably from the time I was 8 years old. I think I remember the first song that they listened to. And there was a lot of Tamil, Hindi, Malayalam and Hindi, English songs playing it at home. So mom would talk about a song that would play, she'd talk about the singer, she'll even tell me what situation this is in a particular movie and all that. And I was just fascinated by the conversation that, I had with my mom. And dad also, to a certain extent. So each of these songs made me want to watch those films. So I was sure that I was drawn to movies and films only because of the songs, because of the music. You play 99%, you play any song from the late 50s, 60s, 70s. I'll tell you straight away who the singers are just by listening to the song. It's because my mom would tell me, the A.M. Raja, this is Jikki, இது வந்து P.B. Srinivas, இது வந்து TMS, MGR-காக இந்த மாதிரி பாடுவார். And in just casual conversation while we're eating or while we're listening to some songs. And they're not even film people, they're film buffs, that's all. So I was drawn to films because of the music. And then when I came, and I write with music, I write listening to a lot of music. I've tried to learn to play the guitar. That was, of course, for a girl that I met and I wanted to impress her and stuff. That didn't happen, but I ended up, trying to learn music. And then a lot of Raja sir's music influenced me. I studied in Trichy, down south, where a lot more people, we talk film appreciation, a lot of talk about music and all that. So I decided I'll do this like music from across my films. I have, from the 20 films that I made from in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Hindi, I have 85 songs. And Harris, Rahman sir, Raja sir, and Darbuka Shiva, a lot of independent music also. So I decided I'll only do a musical curated sort of a concert. And now the plan is to take that, in a bigger way and stage it across various cities and even abroad and all that. So I'm completely driven by music in that sense. And that's the only thing I thought I should do.
So there are more plans for such curated concerts?
Yes. Yeah, there'll be planning one in Malaysia. There's one in Coimbatore in May and June and all that. So yeah.
Right. So you spoke about songs, right? So is there any particular song recording situations that you fondly remember? The last time we spoke, I think you spoke about the title song of VTV and how it shaped up, right? Can you talk to the audience here about how this song recordings happen pretty much in any studio here in Chennai, of course, and how those are fit into your films? Because it comes during the writing itself, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of the story is taken forward through music and lyrics, right? It's not just I need a love song here, or I need a sad song here, I need a hero introduction song here. If I want to take the story forward through music and lyrics, I write it, and that's when I realize that I need something musically and lyrically told here. Otherwise, I don't go for it. And I describe it to myself to a large extent. I write the lyrics in English. I figure out the meaning of the song, the depth of the song, and what the visual imagery is and all that. So a lot of that goes into the writing. That makes it easy for me to communicate to the composer. I think that's what gives it that little edge from the regular songs. Even though I'm saying it myself, I think. A lot of time is spent explaining to the composer about why the song is there and why we're saying this musically and what kind of lyrics and everything. The lyricist is also present. And of course, Tamre, whom I worked with extensively, brings one extra edge and magic to what I want to deliver. So for example, and composers work very differently. Like with Harris, it's about 8 to 10 hours of discussion, and then he'll start composing. And honestly, all these tunes that I've got, all these songs that I've got, have been the first tunes that have sort of wafted through the air and have come, and I've grabbed it. I've liked it, and I've said, yes, we'll go ahead. They have also said, no, we'll do one more and all that. But I've said, no, I like it, so let's just go on with it. So with the Harris, it'll be composing across various places where we'll travel and compose. With Raja sir, it's been on one particular day, 7 tunes in like half an hour, done. And after discussions about what these songs are going to be like and what the visual imagery is going to be like. With Rahman sir, it's very interesting because suddenly he'll say, I'll say, T Nagarla, just put on bike, come to LA, he'll say. And it's just be one, come to LA. Sir, come to LA. How soon can you come? I'll come, sir, immediately. So thankfully, visas and all are, we have, right? So,
சென்னை இங்கே இருக்குது, யூஎஸ் இங்கே தான் இருக்குது.
அப்படிதான். So we go there, and then I remember this especially because we recorded the blues guitars for Aromale in a studio in LA. It was just the guitars. He just said, I had an idea, so let's just record guitars for the song. And then once the guitar recordings was done, he said, there's a musician called Alphonse in Kerala. We'll get him for this song. And I know your story is about Karthik and Jessie, and she's a Syrian Christian girl, and there's this whole travel to Kerala. So why can't we write this in Malayalam? So it was his idea completely. And I just grabbed it. I said yes, and we sat with Kaidapuram for lyrics when I came back to Chennai. So this is how I think magic is created, and I've just been very lucky to have worked with people like this. Yeah.
What has been the most challenging song so far?
Challenging song was, I think, it's still Une Uire from Vinnai Thandi Varuvaya. Such a complex song to put together. Like even now, if you attempt, whether you're a good singer or not, to sing that song, you won't know where to start, whether to start on the beat or off beat, or when the next line. There's a pattern for every song, right? You know when to start a particular line. But with this song, you can't do that. And to recreate the song, to perform on stage and all is like super difficult. We did that recently, and we were very happy we cracked it. But it took a lot of time to rehearse and everything. And I saw how, Rahman sir composed this. He put it together, and then he called these singers and said, these are my cues, see if you can match this and sing to my cues and everything. So, and lyrics also were written, some of those lines were written by him and Thamare together, which is again magic. That was one of the most difficult songs that I saw being put together. And even recently at the Victoria Hall, we did a sort of a curated concert sort of a thing. And I played the original track tune session of Talli Pogade. Now, if you listen to that, you can't make out that here and all there could be lyrics. But Rahman sir just went in one very soulful way about it. I grabbed it, I liked it. He kept asking me whether we can change it, should we go with something more relatable and not so quirky. I said, no, this is magic, I'll just take this. And to sit with Thamare and crack the meter of that song, to write lyrics like Vanile Marade, Talli Pogade and all that, took us 5 days to even just understand the tune. That was also another very difficult song to crack in that sense, yeah.
You spoke about working with composers, right? How is it working with actors? And you have a written scene, because we discussed Vetayala Vilayadu in the beginning of this conversation. Maybe can you break down how that particular scene was written and how you explain that to Kamal sir and how that actually unfolded?
Because with Kamal sir, there is no explaining you can do. You just give him the scene, you just read it out, you don't act it out. Because somewhere in the discussion about the script, he told me that I don't like these directors who come and show me how to perform and all that. Generally, he was saying. So I took the cue. I remembered that forever. I still remember it. So I just didn't. And obviously, you don't do that. So, and ideally, also, you shouldn't do that. You confirm actors hoping that they will perform, they will give you what you want, right? And I'm somebody who likes to take it from a composer, from a lyricist. I don't really put my thoughts out there so much. Once you tell them what you want. So with Kamal sir, you just read out the scene and you just go back and, like for example, the scene where he walks into the space and he takes this gangster on and tells him, I believe, என் கண்ணு வேணும் நீ கேட்ட நான் கேள்விப்பட்டேன் இவ்வளோ பணம் வேற கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கியாமே இந்த எடுன்னு சொல்லி, that was there in the scene. And I told him, we'll keep a knife here, you take out the knife and you give it to him. This is all we told him. So I just described this is where the camera will move, sir, so you can perform like this and all that. But this we didn't expect him to do. That was not, you can't write that. So when he did this, I was like, there was a moment where I was not even ready and I just told Ravi, the DOP, just go. So he went forward a little bit for that. And something happened for us, So you just have to be ready with the camera, and I've heard Mani sir even saying that. With Kamal sir, you just have to be ready. So not much explaining works there. You just have to wait and grab it. Yeah.
What about the other actors? Because you have a great relationship with Simbu, with whom you've done a
Simbu
couple.
is a lot of, it's a very natural, very organic way of working. We even filmed the rehearsals, like when BTV, lots of these locations were live and outdoor in Chennai, and then in Alapi and all that. So as they were talking, I'll just ask the camera to, start rolling. Simbu won't even know. Not that he gets conscious, but I like that the mood that they are in when they are rehearsing. So a lot of filming was done while the rehearsals were on, and he likes me to prompt him. He look at the lines and he'll say, "You prompt me." It's just that he likes the way I say the lines. So he'll take those pauses and say the lines out again. And only with Simbu I do that. We have a great equation and relationship and stuff like that. So I love working with Simbu. He might turn up a bit late, but I love working with Simbu. Yeah.
Gautham, you've completed 25 years as a filmmaker. In fact, last week, Minnale re-released, right, for Feb 14th.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends went to catch the re-release of Minnale and all that. Looking back at these 25 years, what would you say you are most grateful for?
Completely everything. I think the film called Nayakan that made me want to be here. Like I said, I was attracted to films through music at home. Mom's conversations about various films and everything. I started writing short stories. But I think that film sort of told me that I should step out, and there's nobody from the film industry in the family for generations, So there was no connect at all. Like I didn't know after engineering, when I told my mom and dad that this is what I want to do, they asked me, how do you go about this? Should you go back and study 3 years at the Film Institute and all that, at Pune and all? I said, no, I think idea is to go and work with someone and learn the process of filmmaking through the director that you work with. So I'll just try. So just on a whim, but that film sort of gave me the inspiration to do that. So I walked around, I know a lot, tried to find out where Mani sir's office is. I stood outside his office for 2 years at a stretch. In the meanwhile, somewhere along the way, I got an introduction with Rajiv sir, managed to get to work with him on a couple of ad films and all that. And just after this 2 years, 93 to 95, which is when I finished engineering and looked around for work, when he started a film called Minsara Kanavu, and then it was just one film that I worked on. So I think it is just that inspiration that sort of set me off. I'm grateful for that. And dad and mom who said, just follow your dreams. I had 2 sisters who took care of home, and mom still works. So I didn't have that pressure on me. And I'm thankful for all that, and thankful and grateful for all that. Yeah.
You mentioned Minsara Kanavu, right? Like,
Yeah.
how do you look back at your days as an AD during that particular film?
Oh, I was terrified of Rajiv sir. He'd keep yelling at me. I was a clap board assistant on that film. So my job was to cue in the shots, right? So I wouldn't know when to bring in, because he'd look through the lens. I'd bring it in the wrong time. He'll ask me to get out. With all due respect to him, he's such a great filmmaker. I learned a lot from him. So he's someone who taught Prabhudeva how to dance. Can you believe that? Raju sir is not a dancer, but he will tell Prabhudeva, hey Prabhu, ipdi pandra, and all that. Ipdi aadra. So I was thinking, I think I'm an introvert. I wouldn't speak much. So I thought, if I have to be a filmmaker, and if you want to get your thought process across, you have to do things like this. You have to say it. You have to say it out loud. So I learned a lot from him in that sense. So that film was it was produced by AVM, and we shot a lot at AVM, and Vennilavay song and all that taught me so much, about the process of filmmaking and how to handle actors and all that. So it was just one film, and I thought I was ready. 5 years later, Minnale happened. So,
Right. And about the Minnale re-release, what can you tell us? Have you gotten any great feedback about the re-release after Feb 14?
So I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Insta, on my phone. It's handled by a team. So I'm not a big fan of the re-releases, especially a film like Minnale. Honestly, give me a second take at something, I'd probably redo the whole film. Somehow I feel Kaka Kaka is my first film. I put everything into it. Minnale, of course, is, but somehow I feel it's not me. So I didn't revisit the re-release of Minnale and figure out what happened to it and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I have to address the elephant in the room in that sense. A lot of people here would like to know
Dhruva
what is
Nakshatram.
the status on Dhruva Nakshatram. So when can we watch it, Gautham?
Very soon. Very soon. I've been saying this for quite some time, but this very soon is in capitals, so it's very soon. Yeah.
Lovely. We are looking forward to that. I would like to do a quick rapid fire before we open the floor for audience questions. Gautham, a Chennai road that you can shoot on any day?
So right now, it's that road that connects from Tidal Park to the Modern Bread Factory. There's a lovely avenue lane there with a lot of trees, and I've shot there extensively. If you look at Varanam, Vinetandi, Nidane, night sequences, we've shot there extensively. Of course, Padam Pakumbodhu adula konjam smoke la uttu konjam vera mari pannuvom. But that's a lane that I'd go back to any day. And there is a walkway, elevated walkway that connects from sort of across Tidal Park to Ramanujam Films, the Tidal Park, right? I want to film on that walkway with the hustle and bustle of the city down below. So that's in the next script that I'm writing. Yeah.
Oh, so now that you mentioned that, what are your forthcoming projects? Of course, we are all waiting for Dhruva Nakshatram, but do you have something in mind?
I'm starting a love story in, I think, less than 48 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're all looking forward to that. One Chennai theatre that you keep watching films in?
Devi. Devi all the time. Any film of mine, even any of the new films, I'd probably go to Devi first. Yeah.
Coffee or tea while writing?
Green tea and a lot of music, Raja sir's music. Yeah.
Any favorite tracks that you're listening to right now?
It's always Nee Partha Parve and Uravagul Thodarkade, Yeniniya Punnilave, songs like that help me write. Mandram Manda Tendril. You asked about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. A Chennai neighborhood that feels very cinematic.
Cinematic, I think it's the whole Besant Nagar, from Arvin Junction to the beach, that road feels very cinematic. I shot one action sequence there without any permissions and stuff. I mean, with all due respect to the officials who might be here, where Arun Vijay runs and gets into this car that's taking off in N.A. Arindal. Only because in that beauty of this lane, I wanted to shoot one violent imagery sort of a thing, where he runs and he's like, sweaty and shirt is ripped open and all that. And he jumps onto a moving car, and he did this live, and this was shot on Besant Nagar Road. Of course, we made sure things are safe for people around and all that. So, yeah.
But because you mentioned that, is that a problem for filmmakers such as yourself? Because you, of course, want to show the beauty of the city in that sense, but then there's this permission and actor safety and so many other things.
You have to take permissions. I mean, it still will be not conducive for people around. So you need to take permissions wherever you shoot. And those permissions take time, and there's a lot of things that you have to go through to get those permissions and everything. But it's all worth it to shoot in Chennai. And I'm completely an outdoor guy. I love to shoot, in the middle of a street, in the middle of a road. Right from Minnale, if you see that Oh Mama song is shot in various locations in Chennai, outside Central Station, on Mount Road, Vivek will sit on a chair and all that. So these are just the fantasy moments. I mean, these are my fantasies, which I converted onto, a visual imagery. Yeah.
So if there is a wish list for Chennai as a filmmaker, what would that be? What would you like Chennai to have?
I think more parks for sure. I've traveled around the world. Central Park, for example. I know there are parks, but I think there should be a lot more. That's probably a wish list, and if we could, maybe without disturbing the public, shoot also there, it'll be nice. Yeah.
Right.
And I wish magically that all the metro construction is done and the trains are up and running. So, yeah.
That'll take time, Gautham. Yeah. So if Raghavan, Jesse, Maya and Anbu Selvan are to meet in Chennai, where do you think they'd meet?
At my house, I think. I keep saying, somebody asked me, I said it's a line from my film, Ennoduva Veedu Varaikum. En Veettai Paar Ennai Pidikkum. So I think at my home, which is where these characters sort of originated. So, yeah.
Hoping you show more of your films to us, and hoping your dreams come true, Gautham. And here's to making Chennai an even better place to live in and to dream and to create, which is what the folks here in Super Chennai are working tirelessly to do. Thank you, and we'll probably open the floor for some questions. The lady there.
I would love to. I mean, no doubts at all about that. I have something also, but there are some really good directors who are working with him. I like Nelson a lot, and he's doing, I think, a big film with both Kamal sir and Rajni sir. I'm looking forward to that film. So at some point, I'll probably take something that I have to him, and I'd love to, to answer your question, yes.
But I have to register a point over here. You are one of my most inspiration. Whenever I get slightly demotivated, in the past 11 months, I have empowered 19 differently abled women to gain their financial independence. But whenever I get demotivated a bit, though Ilayaraja sir and SPB sir are also with me, You are my biggest inspiration. Thank you so much.
I think that's really sweet of you to say it out here like that. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello, sir. So, how do you think future films made out of Chennai should also address whatever the film is, but also empower show the soft power of Chennai and India as a whole? Because we've seen rom-coms out from America, all of them showcasing New York in the most picturesque, beautiful way that drives tourism and all of that. But how do you think Chennai should show its soft power in movies?
No, I was just going to say that, and you said it. I thought a film like Before Sunrise and After Sunset, with two people just walking around, meeting, meeting at a cafe probably, or at a musical, intimate concert sort of a thing, and then they walk out, and then they start talking, they figure out each other, and by morning they move apart. That and shot across Chennai will be most beautiful, I think.
Thank you so much, sir.
A question here. First of all, congratulations on completing your 25
Thank
years. You addressed one elephant in the room, another elephant in the room.
Are there many? I don't understand. Yeah.
There's a second one,
Okay.
perhaps for the fraternity itself, artificial intelligence. Where do you see artificial intelligence helping? Where do you think it just should not get in? And the film that you spoke about in 48 hours that's beginning, do you plan to use it at all?
I'm not a big fan as yet. We probably use it to erase a few things on screen right now. I'm not a big fan of even computer graphics as such right now. Most of my films don't have that, unless there's something that we want to remove. Basic things. I'm not a fan of the software that people are using to write these days, to get ideas from also. And I tried it out. I put a script into that and I got some feedback. And then somebody who works with me said, "Can you give this a?" So it's a like a 10-page synopsis sort of a thing that we fed into the software, into this app. And then my colleague said, "Can you give this a Gautham Vasudev Menon touch? If this is a Gautham Menon film, how do you see the story?" So would you believe it? It just added urban and sophisticated in the same thing across 10 pages. So I'm not a big fan as yet, but I'm not taking the benefits of something like that away. I'm still yet to warm up to something like that. Yeah. The 48-hour film is actually a script that I have, so hopefully I'll make it at some point. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah, two more questions here.
so about 10-15 years ago, you had planned a film called Chennai or Malai Kalam. It was, I think, about IT employees, young software professionals.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, if you're going to make that movie today, what would it be about? I mean, how would it have changed from 15 years ago? And secondly, since it's IT, Tech Park and Malai Kalam, would it involve Chennai floods in some way? And the infrastructure of the city?
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll incorporate the flood thing in it. But nothing would change about that story. I filmed about 15 days and I didn't take it forward because I was not really happy with the actors. I mean, youngsters, newcomers. I was not getting what I really wanted, and it was around just after Vetiyadu. So I was a bit worried about performances and how these actors will finally come across on screen. So I kind of panicked. But the story, the whole IT boys, there were cricketers in the story. And it was about 4 girls and 3 boys. Nothing would change about it, I know, including the title, which is still, it still belongs to me. I keep renewing the title, thinking I'll make that film someday. But yeah, I'll try and incorporate, the flood and maybe a moment from that. Yeah.
Hi, Gautam. Thank you so much for doing this. One quick question. In all of your movies, I also see how you make the characters very relatable to the city, just the way they dress up. So there is no absolutely going over the top that somebody belongs to Chennai, but they also look and feel like a Chennai girl, which has pretty much inspired a lot of people of my generation growing up. So where did that inspiration come from? Secondly, I'm also a big fan of Ninens, since you mentioned the caramel custard there. Yeah. So any other such true hidden gem not yet discovered by the influencers?
So to answer Ninens is because I've heard my mom and dad speak about it a lot. So I made a beeline to figure out where this place is. And then I did a feature also on, Ninens, and the caramel custard, of course. What was your The caramel custard made me forget what the first.
It's about the costumes and just wanting
Yeah,
to
so
look like,
I
say
was
the
thinking.
Mayas and
Yeah, so when we wrote Vinaythandi Varuvaya, my cue to Nalini Sriram, the costume designer of the film, was I want to see Jessie only in saris mostly, and she works for an IT firm, and there's a bus that picks them up and all that. So she said, we need to check this. It should be, and we went around, believe it or not, driving around to see these, the software technicians working who stand waiting for their buses to pick them up, right? And to see if anybody wore saris. And we actually found, somebody like that. So we thought we'll just model her on that. So we try and make it, as relatable. Nalini designed a whole new section of saris for that film, actually, even the Malta song and all that. So there's a lot of thought that goes behind it, and we try and make sure that, people will connect. And most of these are drawn from how my mother, wears her clothes, and my sisters and all that stuff. So it is easy. I'm just taking inspiration from people I know. Yeah.
25 years in cinema, 3 young filmmakers from Tamil that you like, who have promise, according to you?
Nelson, for sure. He is a young filmmaker. I like the director of Aruvi. He made a film called Shakti Thirumagan, which I thought was interesting in that sense. And there are lots of guys who might fill the third spot. A lot of them are friends too. I discuss a lot with Lokesh, who's really made a name for himself in a very interesting space. Madon Ashwin, who made a film with Yogi Babu. I'm really looking forward to his second work. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being a great audience.
Yeah.
Hi, I just wanted to first of all congratulate you for, of course, 25 years, no doubt, but also the fact that you have consciously always portrayed women very strong in your stories. And you've always given them a space equal to the men in the stories. So I wanted to understand where that comes from. Is it consciously you do that while writing, or is it an inspiration? What's the inspiration behind that?
It comes very naturally because inspiration is from home, and I've kept saying this, and I'll be only saying this till forever. It's my mother, my sisters. Like in passing, I mentioned that they took over so that I could do what I wanted to do. Ideal scenario, you're also asking me this also because maybe in other films it's not portrayed like that. Maybe most films, or maybe in some films, which is why. But I don't even think of it as a something that I should do. It comes in obviously very naturally. And I'll give you a small example. Like even if I treat it otherwise, there's one shot in a song called Thudu Varma in Kaka Kaka where the camera went a bit low, with Ramya Krishnan. And I asked Brinda, the choreographer, saying, it's a bit odd, Ramya sitting on a chair and the camera is low there. So can we, come eye level? She said, no, what's your problem? I checked with Ramya, she's okay, so let's just go ahead with the shot. So it bothered me. Ramya is a good friend, Brinda is somebody I love to work with and all that, and we cracked the shot and everything. And sure enough, when I showed my mom the film, she left everything in the film and she said, "Niye camera avlo low on the shot la veche." So somewhere I know I'm answerable to her. So yeah.
Thank you all for being a wonderful audience, and thank you, Gautham, for sharing all your insights. And thank you, Super Chennai, for getting this together.
Thank you, Srini. It's always nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful session, and thank you, audience, for your questions. I'd like to quickly request Anantha Narayanan, the founder of Blue Noodles, to please join us on stage to do the honors and present tokens of appreciation to our dignitaries on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a big round of applause? A big thank you to Mr. Gautham Menon for joining us today. And a big thank you to our moderator, Mr. Srinivasa Ramanujam, Deputy Editor of the Hindu Metro Plus. Thank you so much. Karthik, can we have you join us on stage for this photograph? A big round of applause for Karthik Nagappan, the CEO of Super Chennai.